When BTS's Jungkook appeared at Calvin Klein's New York Fashion Week 2025 showcase, the fashion industry experienced a moment that went beyond celebrity attendance. It was not simply another star at a runway show. It was a measurable, data-driven demonstration of cultural power. Within days, analytics firms reported that Jungkook's participation generated $30.4 million in media impact value, MIV, representing over 53% of Calvin Klein's total brand impact during the event. The figure stunned even seasoned marketers. Few individuals in any industry can influence global visibility and consumer behavior on that scale. Calvin Klein had invited an artist whose reputation already transcended music. Since debuting as the youngest member of BTS, Jungkook has been recognized for his vocal ability, discipline, and the kind of charisma that bridges East and West. In 2023, the brand named him its global ambassador, marking a decisive shift in its communication strategy, one that sought to connect timeless minimalism with the energy of a new generation. 2 years later, at the 2025 show, that decision proved visionary. The event itself was relatively restrained. Monochrome lighting, structured silhouettes, and the signature simplicity for which Calvin Klein is known. Yet when Jungkook entered the venue, photographers turned the quiet runway into a cultural spectacle. Posts, clips, and fan reactions flooded the internet within minutes. Interestingly, Jungkook himself remained silent online. No selfies, no sponsored captions, no hashtags. Still, his name trended across platforms from Seoul to Sao Paulo. The silence became part of the statement. Influence without noise. Marketing experts began to call it the silent influence strategy. In a time when brands compete for constant visibility, Jungkook's impact suggested something counterintuitive, that scarcity and authenticity can outperform saturation. One marketing director from a New York consultancy described it as the perfect storm of credibility and curiosity. Consumers trusted him because he did not appear to be selling anything. He simply embodied the aesthetic. From a corporate perspective, the implications were profound. Calvin Klein's management had positioned Jungkook not merely as a model, but as a symbolic link between cultures, an Asian superstar fronting an American legacy label, representing global modernity rather than regional trends. Sales in key markets, particularly Southeast Asia and the United States, reflected this synergy. Retail analytics showed a significant increase in engagement metrics and conversion rates within days of the show. Behind the scenes, Calvin Klein executives reportedly anticipated strong results, but not to this magnitude. The $30.4 million MIV figure, compiled by independent measurement agencies, represented organic conversation, earned media, and social amplification. For comparison, similar campaigns with high-profile Western celebrities usually average under $10 million MIV per event. Jungkook's presence effectively tripled the brand's exposure benchmark. Analysts at Business of Fashion noted that such numbers underline a broader shift in the luxury market. The center of global influence is no longer confined to traditional Western icons. Instead, cultural hybrids, artists like Jungkook who navigate music, fashion, and digital culture with equal fluency, are shaping how brands communicate value. The story of Jungkook at New York Fashion Week therefore became not just a celebrity headline but a case study in transnational marketing. His appearance also resonated emotionally with fans and consumers. For many younger audiences, Jungkook represents authenticity, hard work, and aspiration unfiltered by corporate polish. Calvin Klein, a label historically associated with bold sensuality, discovered in him a bridge to vulnerability and sincerity, qualities that modern consumers increasingly demand. The partnership reframed both identities, Jungkook as a mature, global tastemaker, Calvin Klein as a brand capable of evolving without abandoning its essence, a fashion critic summarized in post-event analyses. The collaboration worked because it felt natural. The imagery, clean lines, black denim, minimal styling, echoed Jungkook's personal aesthetic long before the partnership began. Rather than forcing a celebrity into an existing mold, Calvin Klein allowed his character to redefine what the brand could represent in 2025. Confidence expressed quietly, attention commanded effortlessly. The phenomenon raised important questions for marketers worldwide. How can one individual create tens of millions in value without overt promotion? What happens when influence becomes measurable yet intangible? In the chapters that follow, we examine how Jungkook's collaboration with Calvin Klein evolved from a simple endorsement deal into a masterclass in contemporary branding, one that may reshape how the fashion world measures success. When Calvin Klein first announced Jungkook as its global ambassador in March 2023, the collaboration was met with both excitement and curiosity. The brand, famous for its minimalist sensuality and decades of provocative campaigns, had long relied on Hollywood stars, supermodels, and Western icons, Mark Wahlberg, Kate Moss, Kendall Jenner, and Justin Bieber among them. Jungkook's appointment marked a historic first, the introduction of a K-pop idol as the global face of an American fashion label known for defining Western cool. At the time, Calvin Klein's strategy was undergoing a quiet reinvention. After years of fluctuating brand identity and an increasingly fragmented audience, the company sought to reconnect with younger consumers who valued authenticity, inclusivity, and emotional resonance. Traditional celebrity endorsements were losing traction in an oversaturated social media landscape. The marketing team recognized that global youth culture was no longer centered in Los Angeles or New York. It was digital, borderless, and multilingual. Jungkook embodied that shift perfectly. As the youngest member of BTS, Jungkook had already spent nearly a decade under the global spotlight. His reputation extended beyond the group's massive fan base. He was known for his meticulous artistry, down-to-earth personality, and cross-genre appeal. From his viral dance performances to stripped-down live covers on social media, he exuded a quiet confidence that resonated with both fans and casual observers. This combination of humility and charisma made him an ideal match for Calvin Klein's modern direction, a symbol of understated power. Calvin Klein's chief marketing officer at the time, Jonathan Bottomley, summarized the rationale succinctly. Jungkook is more than a global star. He's a cultural bridge. His presence embodies the spirit of Calvin Klein, confident, timeless, and refreshingly real. The partnership launched with a series of striking black and white visuals photographed by Park Jong-ha. Jungkook appeared in denim, tank tops, and classic underwear, channeling the brand's signature aesthetic, minimalist yet sensual, confident yet unpretentious. Within hours of the campaign's release, social media exploded. The phrase Jungkook x Calvin Klein trended in over 100 countries, and the brand's website traffic surged by more than 200%. Retail reports later confirmed a measurable commercial impact. Calvin Klein's online sales in South Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asia skyrocketed in the weeks following the campaign, while North American stores noted an uptick in younger demographics. More importantly, brand perception surveys revealed a significant increase in relevance and desirability scores among Gen Z respondents. Fashion critics praised the campaign for its balance of sensuality and sincerity. Unlike previous Calvin Klein advertisements that leaned heavily on provocation, Jungkook's imagery emphasized connection. He didn't appear as an unreachable celebrity. Rather, he looked like someone real, disciplined, natural, and self-assured. Vogue Korea described the visuals as the redefinition of allure through authenticity.